Have you ever lain awake at night, tossing and turning, unable to sleep because of relentless pain in your knees, shoulders, or hands? Have you felt the frustration of a body that no longer moves like it used to, where simple tasks like getting out of bed or climbing stairs feel like torture? I know that struggle all too well, because I lived it. Months of sleepless nights, endless remedies that failed, and the sinking feeling that I'd be trapped in pain forever. But then, I discovered a simple, natural solution right in my kitchen that changed everything in just 5 days. In this video, I'm sharing the exact recipe that eased my pain, restored my mobility, and let me sleep through the night again. No expensive supplements, no miracle pills, just real food you can make at home. You need to watch until the end because I'll reveal not only how to prepare this life-changing remedy step by step, but also the science behind why it works and how it can help you reclaim your freedom from pain, no matter your age. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. There was a time in my life when everything felt like an uphill battle, not just figuratively but in the most literal sense. Simple tasks that I once took for granted became monumental challenges. Climbing a staircase, something I used to do without a second thought, turned into a grueling 5-minute ordeal, each step accompanied by a sharp reminder of my body's limitations. Walking a single city block felt like running a marathon. Cooking, which had always been my sanctuary, a creative outlet where I could lose myself in the aromas of fresh herbs and the rhythm of chopping vegetables, became a source of pain and frustration. My hands ached, my joints protested, and what was once a joyful ritual turned into a test of endurance. It all began subtly, almost innocently, with a faint discomfort in my right knee. At first, I brushed it off as nothing serious, a misstep during a walk, perhaps, or the result of an awkward twist while carrying groceries. I told myself it would pass, as minor aches often do. But that slight twinge didn't fade. Instead, it grew into a persistent, stabbing pain that seemed to take root in my knee, radiating outward with every movement. Then, as if my body had decided to betray me further, my shoulder joined the chorus of complaints. Soon after, my wrists began to ache, followed by a creeping stiffness in my fingers. Before I knew it, I was trapped in a body that no longer felt like my own, a body that refused to cooperate, no matter how much I willed it to. Sleep, which should have been a refuge, became its kind of torment. I would lie down each night, hoping for a few hours of relief, only to be jolted awake by sharp pains or nagging discomfort. Every attempt to shift positions in bed was a reminder that something was deeply wrong. My back would stiffen, my legs would go numb, or my hands would throb with a dull, unrelenting ache. There were nights when sleep felt so unattainable that I gave up entirely, sitting in the dark, staring out the window, waiting for the first light of dawn to signal the start of another exhausting day. The physical pain was only part of the struggle. The emotional toll was just as heavy, if not heavier. I felt a profound sense of uselessness, a gnawing frustration at my sudden dependence on others for the simplest tasks, opening a jar of pickles, carrying a bag of groceries, or even buttoning a shirt. I had always prided myself on my independence, on my ability to handle life's challenges without needing to lean on anyone. But now, I found myself asking for help at every turn, and each request chipped away at my sense of self. The anger and shame of it all were overwhelming. I felt like a shadow of the person I used to be, watching my life shrink as my physical limitations grew. In my desperation for relief, I tried everything I could find. I filled my medicine cabinet with painkillers, anti-inflammatory drugs, and a dizzying array of over-the-counter supplements that promised to rebuild cartilage or lubricate joints. I bought heating pads, cooling patches, and even a pricey brace that was supposed to stabilize my knee. Each new remedy came with a spark of hope, fueled by a friend's recommendation or a glowing online review. But the results were always the same: fleeting relief, if any, followed by the inevitable return of pain. I even fell for a slick television commercial advertising an exorbitantly expensive cream, packaged in a sleek bottle with bold claims about revolutionary joint repair. I applied it religiously for 3 weeks, following the instructions to the letter. The only thing it delivered was greasy skin and a lighter wallet. The pain mocked my efforts, returning with a vengeance, as if to remind me who was in control. The hardest part wasn't just the physical suffering. It was the isolation of it all. From the outside, I looked fine. Maybe a little slower, a little more cautious in my movements, but fine. People couldn't see the battle raging inside my body, and many didn't understand the depth of my struggle. "It's just age," they'd say with a dismissive wave, as if a pill or a positive attitude could magically erase the pain. "Take some ibuprofen and keep going." But it wasn't that simple. The pain wasn't just a fleeting inconvenience. It was a thief, stealing pieces of my life one by one. It robbed me of my hobbies, my confidence, and my ability to move through the world with ease. It wore down not just my joints but my spirit, leaving me feeling defeated and disconnected. I'll never forget the day I stood in my kitchen, trying to chop an onion for a recipe I'd made 100 times before. My fingers, stiff and uncooperative, couldn't grip the knife properly. The blade slipped, the onion rolled away, and in that moment, the weight of my frustration crashed over me like a wave. I abandoned the cutting board, sank into a chair at the kitchen table, and cried, not because of the onion's sting, but because I realized I was losing myself. That body, the one that had carried me through decades of life, was now a prison, its walls closing in with every passing day. And yet, here I am today, sharing this story not as a victim but as someone who found a way forward. Not through a miracle cure or an overnight fix, but through a discovery that gave me back control over my body and my life. After countless failed attempts, pills, creams, and supplements that promised the world but delivered nothing, I stumbled upon a powerful tool that changed everything. It wasn't a magic potion or a flashy product. It was something simpler, more accessible, and infinitely more effective. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Before I get to that, though, I want to share what I learned about collagen, because that's where this transformation truly begins. After months of chasing quick fixes and wasting money on empty promises, I decided to take a different approach. I stopped relying on miracle remedy blogs and late-night infomercials and turned to credible medical and scientific sources to understand what was happening inside my body. Why was every movement so painful? Why did my joints feel like they were grinding to a halt? In my research, one word kept surfacing again and again: collagen. I had heard of collagen before, mostly in the context of anti-aging skin creams, but I had no idea how critical it was to the entire body. Collagen, I learned, is not just any protein. It's the most abundant protein in the human body, making up about 1/3 of our total protein content. It's the scaffolding that holds us together, the glue that binds our cells, tissues, and joints. It's found in our skin, muscles, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, bones, and even blood vessels. Without collagen, our bodies would quite literally fall apart. When we're young, our bodies produce collagen in abundance, keeping our skin supple, our joints flexible, and our muscles resilient. At 20 or 30, we barely notice this process because everything works seamlessly. Our joints glide smoothly, our injuries heal quickly, and our skin bounces back from every challenge. But as we age, collagen production slows down. Studies show that starting around age 30, we lose about 1% of our collagen each year, and that decline accelerates after 50 or 60. It's as if the body shifts into a conservation mode, no longer prioritizing the production of this vital protein. The consequences of this decline are far-reaching. On the surface, we notice changes in our skin. It becomes thinner, drier, and less elastic. Wrinkles form, sagging sets in, and age spots appear. But the real trouble happens beneath the surface, where collagen's absence affects the structural integrity of our bodies. Cartilage, the protective cushion between our bones, begins to thin and weaken. Tendons and ligaments lose their elasticity. Bones become more brittle. The result? That familiar creaking in the knees, the stiffness in the fingers, the sharp pain in the shoulder when reaching for something on a high shelf. These aren't random aches. They're direct consequences of collagen depletion. This loss of collagen can also trigger inflammation, reduce mobility, and, over time, contribute to conditions like osteoarthritis, where bones rub against each other without their natural cushioning. Every movement becomes a struggle, and the pain becomes a constant companion. The saddest part is that so many of us accept this as an inevitable part of aging, unaware that there are ways to support our bodies in rebuilding this essential protein. That realization sparked a new question. Was there a natural, effective way to boost collagen production or provide my body with the building blocks it needed to repair itself? The answer, I discovered, was a resounding yes. But it didn't come from the pharmacy shelves lined with overpriced supplements or the glossy promises of TV commercials. Instead, it came from something far more grounded. Simple, traditional foods that our ancestors used for centuries without even knowing the science behind them. By incorporating a specific recipe into my daily routine, I began to notice changes in just 5 days. The pain that had once dominated my life started to ease. My body felt lighter, more fluid, as if the gears that had been grinding to a halt were finally being lubricated. Something deep within me, physically and emotionally, began to heal. My initial instinct, like so many others, was to rush to the pharmacy. There, I found shelves overflowing with collagen supplements. Hydrolyzed collagen, marine collagen, collagen with vitamin C or hyaluronic acid, all packaged in shiny bottles with bold claims about pain relief, youthful skin, and stronger bones. But something gave me pause. It wasn't just the steep price tags, though they were enough to make anyone think twice. It was the lack of clarity about how these products worked. Every label promised miracles, but none explained the critical factor: absorption. As I dug deeper, I learned that not all collagen supplements are created equal. Many are poorly absorbed by the body, meaning that the collagen you consume often passes through without ever reaching the joints or tissues where it's needed most. That's where my journey took a turn. Instead of relying on expensive, questionable supplements, I found a solution rooted in simplicity and science. A solution that didn't just mask the pain but addressed its root cause, helping my body rebuild from the inside out. When you pick up one of those shiny collagen supplement bottles from the store shelf, the routine seems straightforward. Scoop out the powder, mix it with water or juice, drink it down, and wait for the magic to happen. The labels promise radiant skin, stronger joints, and a youthful bounce in your step. But here's the harsh truth. For many people, these supplements are little more than an expensive placebo. Your body often doesn't recognize the contents as a usable nutrient. Why? The collagen in many of these formulas is either synthetic, overly processed, or derived from sources so low in quality that your digestive system simply shrugs and lets it pass through, offering little to no benefit. This isn't just my opinion. There's science to back it up. Numerous studies have revealed a critical flaw in the collagen supplement industry. Many products don't contain collagen in an active, bioavailable form. Instead, they're packed with fragmented proteins or peptides that your body struggles to absorb or utilize effectively. These fragments are often too large or improperly structured to be broken down and incorporated into your body's tissues, like your skin, joints, or connective tissues. Essentially, you're paying for something that your body can't fully use, and it's flushed out without making a meaningful difference. Then there's the issue of sourcing. Where does the collagen in these products come from? Many manufacturers are cagey about this, and for good reason. Some use low-quality animal byproducts, think scraps and waste from industrial farming that wouldn't otherwise see the light of day. Others rely on non-hydrolyzed bovine collagen, which is harder for the body to break down, or worse, artificial compounds that sound impressive on the label but lack any real nutritional value. The marketing, however, is relentless. Companies slap buzzwords like bioactive or marine-sourced on the packaging, promising you'll look a decade younger, run like you did in your 20s, or banish joint pain in just a few weeks. They prey on hope, and they're good at it. The reality. Countless people, myself included, have fallen into this trap. We buy bottle after bottle, spending hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars or euros each year, chasing the dream of vitality. But the results often don't match the promises. I know this firsthand because I was one of those hopeful buyers. A few years ago, I stumbled across a collagen powder endorsed by a popular influencer. The packaging was sleek, with a golden label and elegant English lettering that screamed, "Premium." I shelled out a small fortune for it, convinced it would help with my aching knees and stiff joints. I followed the instructions to the letter, mixing it into my morning smoothie every day for a month. I waited for the transformation. Smoother skin, less pain, more flexibility. But nothing changed. The pain persisted, the stiffness lingered, and the only thing lighter was my wallet. Worse still, I felt a pang of betrayal, not just toward the product, but toward my hope. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, Please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. That experience forced me to question the entire industry. How could something as fundamental to the human body as collagen, a protein essential for our skin, joints, bones, and overall health, be reduced to an artificial powder sold in overpriced, imported bottles? Why were we being asked to trust these industrial concoctions when our ancestors thrived without them? My grandmother didn't rely on fancy supplements or unpronounceable ingredients to stay strong and healthy. She turned to nature, to whole foods, to recipes passed down through generations. That realization hit me hard. The body craves what's natural, what it can recognize and digest as real food. When you give it the right ingredients in a form it can use, it has an incredible capacity to heal itself from within. Determined to find a better way, I abandoned the supplements and dove into research. I explored foods naturally rich in collagen or its building blocks, things like bone broth, fish, eggs, and certain fruits and vegetables packed with nutrients that support collagen production. I learned about preparation methods that maximize bioavailability, like slow cooking bones to extract gelatin or combining vitamin C-rich foods with collagen sources to enhance absorption. I experimented with recipes, tweaking ratios and cooking times to create dishes that were not only nourishing but also delicious. What I discovered was nothing short of life-changing. You don't need to spend a fortune or rely on industrial products with empty promises to restore your mobility, strengthen your joints, or improve your skin. The solution is often already in your kitchen, waiting in a pot, simmering in a recipe as old as time itself. Just when I thought I'd hit rock bottom with my health struggles, something extraordinary happened that solidified my newfound perspective. I was sitting in the waiting room at my doctor's office, anxiously awaiting test results. My joints ached, and I felt defeated after years of trying one solution after another. Across from me sat an older woman who radiated a quiet vitality. Her eyes sparkled with life, and her movements were fluid and deliberate. She rose from her chair without a hint of struggle. No cane, no wince, no hesitation. She even paused to help another patient adjust their coat, her hands steady and strong. I was captivated. I had to know her story. Summoning my courage, I struck up a conversation. "How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?" I said, half expecting her to brush me off. She turned to me with a warm smile and said proudly, "I'm 87. I was floored. Her skin was firm and glowing, her posture upright, and her eyes danced with a youthful mischief. Most striking of all, she moved without any sign of pain. I couldn't help myself. I blurted out, "How do you do it? How do you stay so vibrant?" She chuckled, her expression a mix of kindness and knowing. "There's no secret, son," she said. "You just have to go back to the pot. It's all in the kitchen." She went on to share her story, describing a traditional recipe her grandmother had taught her decades ago, a dish rich in natural collagen, made from simple, whole ingredients. For over 40 years, she had been preparing this recipe regularly, fine-tuning it to perfection. She explained the ingredients in detail. Slow-simmered bones, fresh herbs, a splash of vinegar to draw out nutrients, and specific cooking times to ensure the collagen was easily digestible. She spoke of how this recipe not only banished her knee pain but also strengthened her nails, improved her skin's elasticity, and even helped her sleep better at night. I'll admit, I was skeptical at first. After all, I'd been burned by so many miracle solutions. I'd spent years and countless dollars on supplements, creams, and therapies, all to no avail. But there was something about her conviction, her radiant health, that made me listen. She wasn't selling me anything. No flashy labels, no affiliate links, just a story rooted in tradition and wisdom. That conversation planted a seed, and I knew I had to try her approach. Her words echoed in my mind as I returned to my kitchen, determined to rediscover the power of real, whole foods. I began experimenting with her recipe and others like it, focusing on natural sources of collagen and nutrients that support the body's healing processes. Slowly but surely, I started to notice changes. Not overnight miracles, but gradual, meaningful improvements. My joints felt less stiff, my energy levels stabilized, and my skin took on a healthier glow. For the first time in years, I felt like I was working with my body, not against it. This journey taught me a profound lesson. The answers to our health struggles don't always lie in the latest supplement or trend. Sometimes, they're found in the wisdom of those who came before us, in the simple act of cooking with intention, and in trusting the body's innate ability to heal when given the right tools. So, the next time you're tempted by a glossy bottle promising youth in a powder, pause and consider the pot on your stove. The real secret might just be simmering there, waiting for you to rediscover it. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this journey, where we've explored a simple, natural way to ease joint pain and reclaim your quality of life. I've shared my story, the science behind collagen, and the step-by-step recipe that transformed my days and nights, all from ingredients you likely already have in your kitchen. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you're excited to put into practice? Maybe it's the importance of collagen, the power of consistency, or how to make this broth just right. Drop a comment below and share that one takeaway you'll bring into your life, along with your age and where you're watching from. I can't wait to read your stories and connect with you. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more natural, practical ways to live better with less pain. See you in the next video.